Gate 14 podcast. A very strange weekend to say the least. Not sure what to say about that. I mean, listen, 5-1 road trip for the Toronto Blue Jays, 50-41 going into the All-Star break. In hindsight, they didn't even play their best baseball, and that's their record. Avery, how you doing, man? How you feeling? I'm banged up, man. I'm banged the fuck up.
I'm tired, man. I'll say that. um yeah, tired is like the best word to describe it. I can't believe the Jays don't lose a game for a week, and the only game we go to, or sorry, in a week, the only game the Jays lose, and not just lose in incredible fashion. There's probably only two worse ways to lose, and
A perfect game.
that's a regular no-hitter by one pitcher and a perfect game.
Yeah, I would honestly, actually, is this a hot take? I think losing on a walk-off home run is worse than getting no hit. Because that's like draining. Because a walk-off home run, you at least have like a hope of having you have the lead at that certain point, or you're tied and you give it up with a home run. The no hit, they were dead right from the. I think I tweeted in the fourth inning, we're really going to get no hit here, and they got no hit. So I would probably say, and I might get roasted on this by our listeners.
No, I don't think that's maybe a hot take, but it's not a bad one. So we played Great Lakes today, and we're up one, bottom top of seven, home team. Two strikes, runner on second, guy hits a fucking home run, and that was just. I felt worse about that loss than the Jays being no hit. So I think you might actually be right about this.
It just, I guess we can go into the games this weekend. Before we go into that, let's go.
I think we should just talk about our travel time.
It was an awesome travel. Like I say every time we travel or we go to Jays games, stuff like that, it'll never not be weird being in a different country and people coming up to you and getting noticed. In hindsight, obviously, they are Canadians that are at the game that are Blue Jays fans. But the Gate 14 show in there was electric. At Pitcher's Porch, I believe it's called, Miller Light Lounge. What I mean, so what are your thoughts on Comerica, Avery? I pumped the tires of it pretty crazy before the trip. I think it's one of the best stadiums. It's beautiful, man.
I couldn't really appreciate it that much. We never really walked around the 100 level at all because we couldn't. It was pouring rain.
Yeah.
So I don't think I took in how nice I thought it was. Like the seats we were in, being outside after it stopped raining, was nice out. It got pretty hot. I like it though. It's like just being outside is nice. It's how baseball should be enjoyed. Obviously we saw the bad parts of not having a dome for a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, unless you're in Oakland or the Trop, anything that's outside pretty much is okay for me.
I genuinely think I had 30 plus drinks yesterday. Like before the game, I had four by my like alone. And then we go into or three, I don't know, three or four. I think I had four. And then we go into the stadium, and then people are just like, I had like two or three beers there. And then the rain was just absolutely miserable. Detroit, I don't think it's a hot take. That scene there fucking rules. You have the tin roof, you have Hockey Town, Comerica Park, Ford Field. The downtown part of Detroit where all the stadiums are is awesome. I don't think that's like I loved it. It's just
it's like every city in America does that better than Toronto does it, right? Because Cincinnati, tin roof, same thing. Like football stadium, baseball stadium, down one strip. They close it off for football. You can drink and walk down the street. Like it's just everywhere else does it a little bit better. And there wasn't a ton of people who just walking around who were kind of living there. It was all like baseball fans. So it was kind of a perfect crowd as well. But Little Caesars Arena just looks like another business building.
It does. I thought it was an outlet mall. I thought it was a mall. I mean, the fact that Drake was performing there last night, that's insane. I like you thought it would be. It was probably wild, actually. Now that I think about it, I mean, the tickets were like $500, and especially it being close to Canada, that concert would have been insane. Yeah. We should have did the double dip. We should have went Jay's game Drake concert. That would have been unbelievable.
Yeah. We didn't make enough money to do that.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, though, man. I had a great time at that game. I know it wasn't obviously resulted in
it's so us that we go to that game, and I kept saying to Johnny, I said, this might be a good thing. Like, it's kind of funny.
Well, the vlog's going to do numbers because you recorded the entire ninth inning, right? on your phone?
I recorded most of it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
And
the
I can
funniest
just
part.
get every pitch from like from Baseball Savant as well. All the videos. It was fuck. What a
It's the
ridiculous
most Gate 14 thing ever. It's like it's like I don't know. I don't really know the other way to describe it. It's like it couldn't be more Gate 14. The fact that we went to a Blue Jays game, the only game we went to in the entire week, and they fucking get no hit by Matt Manning and company. Like it's and the thing that really aggravates me, I know a lot of the time they're joking and shit like that, is the people that blame it on us. Like the entire comment section was like, don't go back, don't travel to the US again to go watch the Jays, yada, 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 Gate 14, mush, all this type of stuff. Are we mushes? Sure, we might be. There's a heavy chance we're a mush. But to blame it on us and not like the fact that Guillermo Martinez is like the dumbest idiot on the planet is insane to me.
I mean, it's literally the hitters in the box.
Yeah. What the fuck did we do? We just try to create content like the common man. And next thing you know, we're getting blamed for the Jays getting no hit. But I will say this. It is funny. I said this multiple times when it was happening. This is unbelievably funny. Like they just didn't have a pulse. I don't think they had a base runner since the first inning. And all of my buddies who like aren't even really like Curtis, Alto, those guys texting me, they're like, Gate 14 continues to make history. They're like, you guys can't get out of your own way. It's funny, man. But it was just it was a weird game. Obviously, they push it back because of the rain, and then they start it in the middle of a torrential downpour, and then they keep going in the middle of a torrential downpour. Then it just clears up like 30 minutes after. I don't understand is there a worse job where you could just get every single thing wrong on the planet and have no accountability like a weatherman? Yeah, those people are the worst.
Yeah. Sorry, breaking news: Miles Naylor picked 39th overall by the Oakland A's.
Oh my god, Las Vegas, future Las Vegas, But yeah, no. What I'm saying is though, man, is like there's no job like it on the planet where you can just get every single thing you fucking do wrong with no accountability. It's like Guillermo Martinez.
The game started and immediately it poured. I couldn't believe that they started the game and then it cleared up nicely.
It's just I couldn't. Matt Manning is just not good. Like that actually, looking back on it, that entire team is not good. The Tigers suck. I'm just happy the Jays won that series. Just that Saturday game. I will say this, in hindsight, bright side, not many people that go to MLB games have gotten to see a no-hitter live. That's the positive side. We got to see it live. It was against the Blue Jays, so be it. But we did get to see history to put things into perspective. Positive Johnny. That's the only thing I can go out there. But going into that trip, man, I mean, Windsor's the worst. Like, is that? I mean, I respect the hospitality. Shout out Owen for getting us booth and bottles at Wild Child. But
well, I think everyone being in Detroit that night wasn't great. Like,
you mean yeah,
all the locals, man, they weren't out. But I had to call it an early night, and I just went.
But you pulled a coward move though, and you could see in the vlog you called it an early night without letting me and JR know because you'd get an earful from us.
Oh yeah,
Irish exited solo.
100%. Like I told the other guys, I said, you tell Johnny and JR that I'm coming back, and I'm not coming back. Is what I told everyone else. Because I knew I'd get berated on my phone, and I was just like, we had done whatever those fucking shitty energy drinks were the whole time, and. So I leave the bar, club, whatever, take all the cash I have in my wallet, go to the roulette table. I was like, okay, I'm wearing all black tonight. I'm fucking just putting it on black. If it hits, I'm taking my money. I'm going to bed. And if it loses, I'm also taking none of my money and then going to bed. And it hit, got my money, went to bed, fucking just buzzing in bed still from all those energy drinks we were having. Probably got to bed at like what, 1 o'clock maybe. And it's just no good. And then I get you two idiots walk in, 4 o'clock, just making the most amount of noise. I wake up at 5:30 to go leave, and I lose my car keys. They were in my backpack. I thought they were back in the room. And by the time I had left, gone to the elevator, come back, Johnny was already in the bed that I was sleeping in. I was gonna wake you up and just say like I'm gone. You can go sleep there. But I was like, whatever. I
don't even remember doing that. And I will say this: last night, I was just rocked. Like I had 1,000 drinks. And this is my go-to line that I don't recommend listeners. It actually might be smooth. Is I will just walk up to someone and I'll just be like, do you want to use me for a drink? Like as a joke, obviously. I'll say that to the girl or whatever it is. Like as a joke. And then most of the time it works and it starts a really good conversation. So I did that and I was just in the booth, like just feeding people like vodka, like our bottle and stuff like that. It was rock star shit. But it just we need to make a Gate 14 bar because the songs that these bars that I consistently go to, besides Dog and Bear, I will say that, besides Dog and Bear, these songs that they play, it's like mini bop kids fucking volume 38. They're playing like, what does I blow my hands up in the air sometimes?
I mean,
I
tweeted that they were playing stinkers at the bar, and that is quite literally what was happening.
It's embarrassing. We need to just get on Ox at a bar or start the own Gate 14 bar. If you are a listener and you know someone that owns a bar in Toronto or near Toronto, you want the Gate 14 boys to pull up, we will run the Ox. We'll have that fucking place exploding because that's what we got to fix here. It's terrible. It's absolutely dog shit.
And the guy was playing house music before people came in.
And like good house music too. Like he was playing Free From Desire. He was playing good tracks. Like I said, man, I was in one. I was absolutely in one. And then we tried to go into the club at Caesar's Palace. They have a club there.
They do?
And yeah. And it was just all people like dressed up. And then I'm wearing like a Dog and Bear shirt. Fucking everyone's wearing like suits inside this place and shit like that. So we try to go in. They're like, you guys know we close in like 10 minutes, right? And then they're like, your boy, JR's brother, it was hot in there. I don't know if there's AC. And his face was just like red. And they're like, you're out of here. Get the fuck out of here. So I got into a massive screaming match with one of the security guards. We were like, of course his face is red. It's fucking hot as shit in here. There's like 100 people. No wonder his face is red. And me and him, I just kept calling him a hero. That's when you know I'm mangled. I just get in arguments with people and I start calling them heroes. Yeah, that was
you get loud when you drink. It's awesome.
I was calling him a fucking hero, all that type of shit. But yeah, it was it's good to have. It was good to have JR back, man. The band was back together. When JR gets after it, it's fucking hilarious. He just goes mute a little bit though. He doesn't talk for a long time.
He's a funny drunk guy too. Having all the Roach brothers out, all three Roach brothers out on a night is all time because they're so different. Kyle, the biggest one, he's a brick shithouse. Doesn't talk at all. Funny kid, doesn't talk at all. Chris, the oldest, quiet, but talks a lot when you know him. And then JR just fucking nonstop, just the middle child. So it's really funny going out there. I was happy to be out with the boys though, man. Just traveling to watch the Jays and doing some other stuff is.
We gotta go to Cincy, man. Cincy looks sick. I mean, obviously, I know it looks sick.
I love Tin Roof Cincinnati.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's the greatest place on the planet. We got to go there. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. But yeah, no, like I said, I got after it, and then it just Johnny Toronto is just he's buzzing.
Does it make you appreciate going out in Toronto more?
Yes, I will say that. Like usually,
you don't have to worry about where people are at in Toronto. They're just going to be everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. That the vibes that Windsor gives me is like high school, where it's like,
everyone knew everyone in that bar pretty much.
Yeah, like what party are we going to tonight? Like whose house are we going to? Where's everyone going to be at? In Toronto, it's just everyone's everywhere. Every bar is packed busy. I will say this: the drinks were substantially cheaper in Windsor. I mean, I got 4 drinks and it cost me like $22, something like that. And I was like, whoa, this would cost me a shit ton.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was all time. I mean, it was a good night for sure. It just I'm banged up. I streamed for a little bit today and the Jays were just getting worked and just not hitting. So I was like, fuck it. I'm not streaming anymore. We have to reverse the mush of the Gate 14 boys. And it ended up working. But let's go into the draft though, Avery. So the Jays drafted how do you pronounce his name?
Arjun Namala.
Arjun Namala. I had him going 3 on my draft board personally.
Yeah, so that means it's a steal.
The Jays got to steal the draft. I heard.
I had someone DM me so this is a prep shortstop from Florida, of Indian descent.
Yes,
kind of cool for the area that we're in if you can make it to the big leagues.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome, man. And like especially him coming from like the cricket background, like he said, and stuff like that. I mean, it's awesome. I love the pick. And
So
obviously,
he's really so with no second round pick. I don't think the Jays have. Someone tweeted this. I thought it was the right call. Going with a high upside guy. Again, position doesn't really matter. Like you're expecting them to play middle if you're choosing a 17-year-old
yeah, exactly.
shortstop. And they say he has maybe one of the highest ceilings in the draft. So
I love that word, highest ceiling. That just means
like
it's just the most
the
empty
hit tool is like the lowest you can grade currently, but he's probably one of the youngest players in the draft. So I don't know defensive wise how he is, but they're banking on upside. They're banking on him to grow and fill out a lot. He's from the Dunedin area, I believe. So in the offseason, he'll be with the Blue Jays, it's not why you draft a guy in the first round, but they definitely can't dislike that reason about him. And he wears Aaron Judge's number.
Yeah, respect. RE99PECT. I love it. Listen, his swing does look awesome. He's fucking tall as shit. I just can't comprehend how young these kids are still. Like, I'm 26. I'm not old. Like, we're not old. But just like hearing that, oh, he's born in 2004 is like, what? What the fuck? Like, I was like 8 years old, 7 years old when these kids were just born. Like,
yeah.
Well, at what point do you think it starts getting weird? When we start seeing like 2012 draft picks, 2013,
2010, like 2010, I think.
2010, yeah. That's going to be weird.
I remember 2010 like yesterday.
Okay.
What golden goal? Like
yeah, that's a good point. I guess
8th grade, right? Or 6th grade for us.
I guess, yeah. Like once like the 10 start hitting, it's
but even
like,
the kids that I coach, like the 18-year-old OBJ kids, it's like they're 2002s and 2003s, I think.
Yeah.
And that just seems like fake years as well.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. I mean, I was looking at the years they're born and stuff like that. It's fucking wild. But yeah, it's good for him. Congratulations. Welcome to the club. I don't know if I don't know if I'll interview a guy that young. I can't do it. I don't know if maybe a little bit down the road when he grows up a little bit. But I got PTSD from Max Clark, so I cannot be doing that.
Do you want to speak on Max Clark?
Well, yeah, everyone knows the story. I think I told it on stream multiple times. Yeah. So Max Clark said he'd come on my podcast twice. Big League Me had me waiting on a Zoom call twice, which has been a funny running joke that Doc's been using on Twitter lately. But yeah, no, he never came on the pod. And yeah, so I DM'd him after he like Big League Me. I said, "You're such a fucking loser, holy shit!" And he saw it and didn't answer. So whatever. His loss. Wish nothing but the best for him in Detroit. We'll see. It would suck if he's a bust, but whatever. You hate to see it. I'm not big with this draft stuff, man. This is like the worst part of the year, Avery, because all these like Twitter burner accounts pretend they're like draft experts. I don't know where I stand with this. I'll be honest with you, bro. Like everyone's a draft expert now. It's like, oh, this guy upside, this guy, this guy, that, this guy, this. Like
in the draft, you just say everyone has upside. That's like
auto. Is that like that's like the crutch, not the crutch.
Why wouldn't you draft a guy with upside?
Exactly. Right? Exactly.
No, it's interesting to just kind of see the player comparables, all that stuff for high school kids is who go in like the 2nd to 7th round. It's just like, how are you guys doing that? But people who make it their jobs, it's a tough industry to be in as well. I think, but I love draft time. It's exciting for teams. And then I don't really get into minor league stuff. So people who love minor league baseball are also draft people. That kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah. This is like, I don't know, man. This is like such a boring part of the year. And listen, obviously I love baseball. I love the Blue Jays.
Fucking all-star game Tuesday, Johnny.
I know, but what I'm saying is though, is like just this aspect of just no sports. I cannot wait for the Premier League to be back, all that type of stuff to be back, because there is nothing. There is fucking nothing until August now. It sucks. Just baseball pretty much, which is, I'll be honest, it gets a little bit boring to watch when you're not watching the Blue Jays. So, like, I couldn't care less about watching like the Rangers anymore or whatever it is. But yeah, let's go into the series now, man. Friday night, Alek Manoah. Honestly, man, I know all this stuff, slider movement, wham. Johnny doesn't know ball. You don't know ball. You don't know an ounce of ball knowledge, all this type of shit. He looked fine. I mean, the last 2 innings, his slider had like 2021 horizontal movement, if whatever you call it. I'm not going to pretend that I know what that means, but he looked good. No walks, which is something that was a crutch for him, like we mentioned, right, Avery? Like he's going to walk a lot of guys, hit a couple guys, that type of stuff. No walks. That's a positive to look at.
Yep.
Minimized a lot of damage, got out of a lot of jams. He got himself in a decent amount of jams. I think I'm not going to say the B word, obviously, with him because I want to see a couple more starts, but he looks substantially better. Like not even close to what he was earlier in the year.
Yeah. I mean, the outing in the complex league seems more unbelievable by the minute. How did that happen, man?
Against the FCL Yankees, the team maybe
They're the best team in affiliated baseball.
America's team.
Holy
it doesn't make sense.
The real Yankees.
It doesn't make any sense because how do you get rocked by them, then carve the Yankees in AA, and then or the Red Sox in AA, and then carve the Tigers in the major leagues? Like you went reverse order. And honestly, you got to tip your cap to like Atkins and whatever for recognizing that he was ready to like pitch in the majors, because I don't know, whatever they saw, clearly it was something, because he was spotting up his fastball pretty well. He was spotting up his slider pretty well as well. So I know it sucked decent, like earlier in the game and stuff like that, as the Twitter fake GMs tell me, but it's such an insane bounce back. And honestly, this is such a good problem to have once Ryu comes back as well, having a 6-man rotation with 6 pretty good arms. Like it's going to be an awesome problem to have.
Yeah. I mean, fuck. What is there to say about him? He threw more strikes. Out of zone swing percentage was okay. Again, zone contact percentage, he's getting hit still. Still only in the zone 56% of the time. But I will take that building block 10 times out of 10. It looked like it could have gotten out of hand pretty early, and it didn't. Like that was the thing where it's like, thank fucking God. It was actually, I think it was batted ball luck for one of the first times this year for him. There's a couple times baseballs were kind of skull fucked at people, and it's like, thank God. Like there was a reason his underlying numbers were no good going into this year. It's because people hit him still pretty hard, but it kind of went his way, which sometimes you need in baseball. Like when they go to people instead of in the gaps, things go a lot better. For me, it's a good building block. I'm nowhere ready to say that we're going to see the Alek Manoah of last year.
But that guy might be gone, Avery. I'm sorry. That guy might be dead and gone.
I mean, if we see 30 pounds lighter Alek Manoah, I might get back in on him.
Like if he comes back next year just yoked, like
he's going to be I would be shocked if he doesn't lose a substantial amount of weight in the offseason.
You think so?
I think I've said this before. That's the one thing he can control to show people that he cares and is taking it seriously, right? And obviously he puts in a ton of work at his craft. He even did it at this offseason. But if he comes in like in really, really good shape, people will be like, okay, he's taking it serious. And I think that's what he'll do. But by the end of this year, man, if he's a 3.9 to 4.4 guy, ERA wise, we can deal with that because we no longer
need him to be an ace.
Yeah, nor that it matters that stuff, like where you are in the rotation. You just need to give the team a chance to win over 6 innings as often as possible. And giving up 3 runs during that time mostly gives you a chance to win. Even with this cat shit offense, sometimes we need him to be, 3.9, 4.4, and we're pretty happy with what goes on.
That Friday game was an absolute working. Like that was a beating the wheels off a team like I haven't seen in a really long time. George Springer was just buzzing. Whit Merrifield he's just on the loose. Like I got to pull up what his stats are because I know he got 2 more hits today. He actually had the only 2 hits for the Jays going into like the 5th inning today, which is not ideal, right where you want to be. Whit Merrifield is hitting 286 in his last 7 games, 333 OBP, 3 home runs and 28 bats. Like this guy, I think, has more home runs in the last. Never mind. I was going to say more home runs than Vladdy. That's not true. But where would this team be, though, Avery, without Whit Merrifield, man? I mean, this guy plays every single goddamn position you can imagine. He's like a hard at bat. He like gets deep into counts. He's a grinder, as Doc would say. He's a good like. I love Whit Merrifield. He's like an insane development for this club, and he has 9 home runs.
No.
9 home runs minus 9 home runs minus 4. Sorry. My man. He has 5 home runs, all right? Fuck it. 3 in the last week.
Didn't he have 2 going into this week or something?
Yeah, he has 9 minus 4. Sorry. 9 minus 4 home runs.
That's just math guy Johnny, always trying to play tricks on us. No, we kind of got the same production. I think I said this last episode.
Yeah.
Espinal wise. I don't know how the numbers match up, but someone near the bottom that you can move up sometimes grew hit for a good average. For a team that should be a lot of slug and not so much average, they kind of need that table setter, and Whit's been able to do that. He would almost, if you probably restructured this lineup, maybe he could be the one who would lead off more often, and it could help the team score some more runs. Like you put him.
But would you do that though and waste one of your quote unquote like clutch hitters, the guy that's been producing the most, and like essentially a lot of the time not have him up with runners on? Like what, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't mind him in the 6 spot, 5 spot maybe. I don't know about 5 spot, but 6 spot, 7 spot. Putting him lead off kind of eliminates it, especially when you have George.
I don't think it's going to happen or a plausible thing, but based on old school baseball, a guy who has one of the better averages on the team hitting at the top is good. And like George Springer, more prototypical, like 4 guy maybe for this team, but no problem how the lineup is set at all. He does his job from the right spot. And if we had some of the guys lower in the lineup, hitting a bit better at this point, we'd score some more runs because he's on base fucking all the time.
And going to that Friday game, Mitch White's lowered his season ERA to 3. Is this a Ross Atkins fleecing?
Yeah, the Nick Frasso.
Because that guy you mentioned, we talked about him on the last podcast or on the stream that they got with Mitch White. What's his name, Avery?
Alex DeJesus.
He looks awesome too.
He's a young chap, and he hit for the cycle last week.
So is this? Are we ready to put the masterclass behind Ross Atkins here?
Yeah, I mean, Mitch White is accumulating more wins above replacement in the big leagues than Nick Frasso is right now.
True.
So.
It's a good point. That's a really good point. I don't know, man. It's good to see these just like guys that have no business pitching in like high leverage, but can just give you long relief. Or if there's a meltdown, if there's a long game, or if there's like a 12-2 blowout, you can just come in there and you know he's not going to give up 12. You know. Yep. So yeah, he's been fine, obviously, and I could be wrong about the 3 RA. I might have saw it on Twitter, or maybe I saw it in my dreams or something like that. I don't remember. I was really drunk on Friday at that stream, but yeah. Shout out to Mitch White. That Friday game, it's 3.72.
Yeah. Okay,
so never mind. We're almost there. 0.72 away. But going into the Saturday game, we're driving to the game. We get a notification on our phone. Nathan Lucas has been activated. George Springer on the paternity list. What is it with the Toronto Blue Jays just fucking in the offseason? Did every player just fuck? Where are we at here? I mean, we had Jay Jackson.
When you get your first little break after the season, that's got to be the first thing you do when you go home, right?
Oh yeah, George Springer late.
I forget who tweeted it, but this is an original thought. It was exactly 9 months he had his child from wild card game 2.
Not great. I mean, he was injured that game, so was he fucking on the hospital bed?
Yeah, in his deathbed, neck brace, just fucking making kids.
I'll tell you what, the Toronto Blue Jays, I don't really follow other teams that closely, maybe besides maybe the Phillies, I guess, but they got to be leading the league in just paternity list IL, right? Or whatever, like just the paternity. I mean, it seems
I don't follow any other team like that. I feel like everyone who's in their late 20s to 30s is having children.
The Blue Jays be fucking. That's all I'll say. The Blue Jays be fucking. Good for them. George Springer having a kid is like, I mean, how old is this guy?
Was that the first kid he's had?
No, I don't think. I don't know. I don't really follow.
I'm glad I don't follow that type of stuff.
Me too. I can't. I worry about too much to know that. Calvin Biggio was fucking. Jay Jackson, congrats on the kid. I don't know if we said that on the last podcast.
Well, he named his kid after Jeremy Roach.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's like a Gate 14 where you moment like all a pretty decent amount of the comment sections was like named after JR. But it is all time that his kid's name is JR Jackson. So shout out to him for that. And then another guy was Chris Bassett who fucked as well. So credit to Chris Bassett as well. I mean, this team has 3 paternity lists in a month. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Show me another team that's been doing that. You can't. The Jays be fucking. The Toronto Blue fucks. The Toronto fuck Jays. That's better. Toronto fuck Jays. So credit to them. But that Saturday game, I guess we could just kind of barely touch on it because there's not really much to talk about. Kevin Gausman didn't have his stuff, and he still carved. I mean, 7 strikeouts, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, and he gets the loss.
It was the first inning. You take that away. It's a 0-0 game, right?
And you could kind of chalk that up to the rain. Kind of chalk that up.
It fucking poured, man. We were sitting there just
I don't know how these guys do it, Avery. Like, I know they keep on getting new balls and stuff like that, but their hands got to still be wet as shit.
It feels like splitters would be a tough pitch to throw when the ball.
They should disavow that first inning and go back there and play it again. Kevin Gausman's got to be sick. He has the second lowest run support in Major League Baseball right now. I don't know what it is when this guy pitches. And honestly, I would love to have a conversation with him and just ask him if he cares. He probably doesn't care, I guess. Like, no, he has no control over it. It's something he has control over, obviously. So he probably doesn't give a shit.
He's back in the NL hitting. You can't.
But yeah, what I would just say to him is like, man, you got to be like a little bit pissed, right? I mean, you're fucking putting up Cy Young numbers, and your teams are getting no hit, giving you 1 spots, 2 spots. You're going 7 innings, 1 run. You're getting a no decision. Like, you got to be a little bit pissed, right? Like, just as a competitor guy. Like, do you think he said anything to the team, or is he just too nice of a guy?
No, I don't think he said anything to the team. I think he worries about what he has to worry about. And other than that, so I just looked. Matt Manning had 5 swings and misses in his start.
You're kidding.
I don't know how he got away with it, but he fucking did. Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
That was the most. It had shades of Philip Humber's perfect game.
Alex Lang had more swings and misses than Matt Manning that game.
Yeah,
and he pitched 1 inning.
5 and 5.
That's fucking insane. I mean, and honestly, they were kind of hitting the ball decently hard, though. I know we were like joking on the vlog and stuff like that, like saying they just got worked from start to finish. There was a decent amount of hard hit balls, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah. I think 7 balls hit over 95. So not a crazy amount, actually.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, those could drop,
like, expected average was low as well.
Really? So it was just a world-class no-hitter.
Yeah. What a shitty game to be at.
I can't believe we went to that. I can't fucking believe we watched that live.
I can't.
And they made us wait for it too, which makes it even more worse because we had
for it, rain delay, border 2 times. Can we talk about the crazy move this lady pulled at the border?
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a funny story. So me and Avery were at the border. Obviously, I'm fucking pissed. And I was, to be honest, I don't even remember that border conversation with that guy. I was fucked up at that
I just remember the guy was jacked.
Yeah, he was. Oh, okay. He had tattoos and he was yoked. But anyways, so we go through the tunnel. So if you know, Detroit has a tunnel, right? So we go through the tunnel, and it's 1 lane each way, obviously, whatever. It's like impossible. It just takes so long to get through. It pisses me off, but whatever. And we get out there, and there's this guy obviously directing people to go into the the proper lanes to go into the border guy. And this lady is just screaming. She's like, I had to call a fucking fire truck because someone's engine is on fire in the tunnel. And we're like, she was playing hero ball, essentially, is what she did. She saw a moment where she could be like, there could be a news article about me someday. And she played hero ball because realistically, if the engine's lighting up a little bit, he could have weaseled his way to get out of the tunnel. Right? Because now we're in a little situation here where the entire border is just going to be shut down because this lady decided to play hero ball on the guy. Right?
Yeah. She said the engine was on fire. It was smoking a little bit. I don't think that immediately means something is actively on fire because it's an engine. I'm not a car guy.
Me neither. We could be wrong, though.
Where there's smoke, there probably is a little bit of fire. But we hear the fire truck coming back. She thought she was a hero. And a 1 lane, I don't know how backed up it got or if that guy got out of there. But making a fire truck go into that's nightmare fuel for me, being stuck. Like if you were stuck in there as well. I thought about what would happen.
I'd push my car.
Yeah, just because she saw someone's engine smoking a little bit, she called the fire department to put a hold onto the tunnel at the Windsor Bridge. And Karen moment, if you'd ever
It was
seen one.
all-time Karen moment. It was nightmare fuel. It was just such a weird moment. I mean, that day was just full of weird shit. The Riley Green bobblehead, I will say that it looked cool. I am kind of mad I didn't get one, but I'll never be a bobblehead guy. So that's just where I'm at with that. But another thing from the game that I want to talk about, actually, it's from the weekend technically. We gotta have the Alejandro Kirk discussion, Ave. He's lost the plate. And I know memes gonna get mad at me for saying this, gonna call me a fucking idiot for saying this, but I don't know what I know. Alejandro Kirk doesn't suck. Obviously, he doesn't suck. He's an all-star career hitter of 267 now. Wow, that's really low compared to what he came into the year with. In his last 7 games, he's hitting .095. In his last 15 games, he's hitting 156. In his last 30 games, he's hitting 233. All 3 of these, so 7, 15, 30 games, he has an on-base percentage below 270. He has a slugging percentage below 280 in all 3 of these sample sizes. What's the deal here, Ave? Like, what's going on here with Thick Jesus? Because this dude can't hit right now. He's 2 for his last 21.
Barrel a baseball to save his life. So you look at his percentile rankings from last season: walk rate 88th percentile, strikeout rate 98th percentile, whiff percentage 94th percentile, average exit velocity 78th percentile. So basically all the expected stats, if you hit the ball hard, they'll look good for you. This season, average exit velocity 18th percentile, expected slug 17th percentile, walking 50th percentile. He just cannot hit the ball hard at all. His average exit velocity last year was almost 91 miles an hour. This year, 87.2. Launch angle, average launch angle is 3.7 degrees compared to 8.1 last year. I'm sure if you look at his line drive ground ball percentage, wouldn't be so yeah, liner's kind of similar, hitting a little more ground balls. It's not crazy different either. He pulled the ball 32.2% of the time last year. This year, 24.7% of the time.
So Guillermo got into him. That's just what it is.
Or he was just insanely lucky last year.
So had a little Linsanity run last year. Is that what you're saying?
Like,
I wouldn't say that with memes listening.
No. I just typed in batting average and balls in play in the player search on Fangraphs. I'm a fucking idiot. No, I think he's a good hitter. It's been tough
to watch. It's been really tough to watch.
Yeah, it has been because they're kind of feeble at bats sometimes
they're unserious at bats, and it's like a black hole at the bottom of the order. Unfortunately, I hate to lump him into with these guys.
So he didn't have a great batting average on balls in play last year either, but it's 257 right now, which is pretty horrible.
Yeah,
you would think some positive regression at some point here, but it's tough. Again, he's playing defense, and he plays defense well,
really good.
Which as a catcher, what made our 2 catchers so great was the ability to play a lot of offense as well and be good, and that's why we thought we had the best catching tandem in all of baseball, possibly. But the kind of offense has gone away, but at least the defense hasn't gone as well.
Yeah, I will say this though. It's like a black hole though at the bottom of that lineup, man. You got Kirk, you got Espinal. When Espinal's not playing, you have Biggio, Varsho, and Kiermaier struggled as well the last month or so. We got to talk about DaltonVarsho, Avery, and you could talk me off the ledge here with this guy. I know he is good defensively. Just so the listeners out there, I know he is very, very good defensively and is like one of the best statistic defensive center fielders. That I don't know if that's the right sentence, but this dude is hitting 206 in his last 30 games, 130 in his last 15 games, and .048 in his last 7. He's 1 for his last 21. He's putting up me numbers. What the fuck is wrong with this guy, Avery? I mean, we knew what we were going to get with this guy. You mentioned it when we did that podcast about the trade for him, that he's a streaky hitter. This is just not streaky. This is just ass. He's just ass this year.
You want to know something bad?
What?
The expected numbers are better than what he had last season.
No.
So this is just who he is.
Are you serious? So
Expected batting average last season 213. This year 234. Last year expected slug 389. This year 393. Last year expected weighted on base average 298. This year 304. He has a higher hard hit percentage than last year and a lower strikeout rate.
Oh no, that's not. I mean,
So really, you can't say he's been that bad. His launch angle is fucked, man. Holy shit.
what is it?
Those pop-ups to the infield just totally kill your average launch angle. Holy shit. 18.5 degrees average launch angle. That's just because he's popping up every fucking time he gets out. Holy shit.
That's insane.
Barrels have gone down though. A 10% barrel percentage last year. It's 7.1% right now.
Yeah, like his just unserious at bats. I'm not going to be that brain dead idiot that says, "Oh, we lost the Varsho trade. We lost the Varsho trade." It's still early in it.
How many
obviously.
bunt hits do you think he has too?
I don't want to look at that because that'll be a really tough look for him. I mean, Avery, he's hitting 214 this year, bro. It's the lowest he's ever hit in his career besides his rookie season. Like, he's just I don't know if this is like. I hope he turns this around, obviously, because I love him as a player. Brings a shit ton to a team with his speed, his defense, and his like the way he plays the game and stuff like that. But fuck, he is just like he's unserious. It's just like it's legitimately Avery. It's a black hole at the bottom of the lineup.
So I swear he hit fastballs really well last year. He hit 250 against fastballs last season, 204 this year.
The Guillermo effect.
Yeah,
the Guillermo effect.
Okay, it's only like a 3% drop. Pulled the ball 51% of the time last year, 47.5% of the time this year.
It sucks though because, like I said, he is so good defensively, right? Where it's kind of just it's a weird, like I said,
He's
it's a weird
making
situation.
An incredible amount of weak contact.
Exactly. He doesn't hit the ball hard right now. I'm sure he'll go on a Linsanity run, obviously, but this is catastrophic to watch. His at-bats are terrible. And this depth the Toronto Blue Jays have. Nathan Lucas saved the season today, obviously, but this depth is really bad. Let's go into today's game. So today's game was the most Toronto Blue Jays game ever. Whit Merrifield.
Chris Bassett wasn't great, was he?
No, he was decent. I mean, he gave up 2 runs.
The stat line wasn't great. I didn't get to watch the start of it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it was great, but 4 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, ERA up to 4.19, which is whatever. I mean, that's what you knew you were going to get out of Chris Bassett. It doesn't matter though, Abe. Like if he gives up 2 runs with this way the offense has been, besides Friday's game, I guess, and maybe that extra inning game, it's over pretty much. Like the at-bats were so unserious today. Like Whit Merrifield had the only hits. The Jays had 2 hits in their last 14 or 15 innings was the stat, and Whit Merrifield had all of them. So if you took that away, the Jays have no hits in 14 innings. If you took Whit out of the lineup, no hits in 14 innings or 15 innings. Like, it's just unsustainable. I don't understand how things aren't changing here. And Guillermo Martinez keeps getting away with this because they keep winning games. Like, you don't fire a hitting coach when you're 5-1 in your last 6 and you're 50-41. Like, it's hard to justify that, you know? Like, I don't know, but it's these at-bats suck and they're unserious. Bo Bichette looked terrible today. I'll say it. Fucking terrible today. Kevin Kiermaier, runner on first, grounds into a double play immediately. It's just the worst thing that happens with this offense. I don't know. I've never seen it like this in my lifetime. I don't think, maybe when they were bad years and stuff like that, obviously, but a team like this, a team that has the numbers like this should not be struggling as bad as they do, especially against lefties. They showed a stat, Avery, and against lefties, they're pretty much 30th in the league in almost every category.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. School's pretty good arm too.
He's gross. He's disgusting. He carved this team up.
Yeah, the Tigers had some pretty bad injury luck with their starting pitchers, and they should be getting some back here hopefully soon. But thank God they found a way to win, because that's a demoralizing way to go into the break.
Exactly. Now it's just like a great way to go into the break. I mean, what's there to say, Avery, about Danny Jansen, bro? I mean, what's there to
He
say?
consistently saves the season.
Like, okay, let's look back at what he's done. The Atlanta Braves game, walks it off, I think, twice. Did he have 2 walk-offs in 2 days? A single in the gap and then a home run to tie the game. It was something like that. He did that. Against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium, hits a 2-run nuke against Willie Peralta to tie the game. Remember that game? That game was sick. That was at Yankee Stadium when the Jays dog walked it.
Wandy Peralta.
Or Wandy Peralta, sorry. And then today, 2 outs down to their last out. A chance to get embarrassed by a team who just lost 2 out of 3 to the Oakland Athletics. And Danny Jansen off of Alex Lang, who I'll say this, he's a good pitcher.
Yep.
Alex Lang's a great pitcher. Danny Jansen gets a middle mistake or middle end mistake and just launches it into the bullpen. What a fucking turn of events from that guy. I had to text him obviously too, and I think he said over text like that was one of the coolest home runs he's ever hit.
He loved that one.
Yeah, because just based off the fact that it was 2 outs, obviously, chance to go into the All-Star break. The team was checked out. Let's call it. I mean, George Springer or Bo Bichette unserious at bats there. Vladdy unserious at bats. Didn't give a shit. Just swinging at random shit. And Danny Jansen, the guy that's been there all along, he always comes up clutch, like you said, Dave. Just absolutely launches. And the Jays were like plus 5,000 before that at bat. No one thought that was going to happen. Credit to Jano, man. The great Jambino, Danny Bonds. The dude has. Where's the numbers here? He has 11 home runs and 181 at bats. I feel like that's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. For
like, what's a good home run percentage?
I don't know home run percentages.
Okay, I was gonna say like per 10 at bats or per whatever amount of at bats. I wonder what that would be. Would be good. Maybe a listener can answer that for us. But it was just that changed the entire momentum. And I know we're gonna talk about how bad the offense was, all that type of stuff. Be negative with that stuff. You got to tip your cap to the bullpen. I mean, the bullpen gives
Can I give someone their flowers?
Who? Give someone your flowers.
Jimmy Garcia.
That's all I was about to say.
June, 8 innings pitched, 2.16 ERA.
Very small sample size, but okay.
July, 3 innings, no hits given up.
Really?
He might be fucking back, man.
Huh.
The elite reliever that we had in Jimmy last year may be starting to turn the corner on his season.
I was going to talk about that, obviously, as well. He looked awesome in that 9th inning. Just unhittable, I tweeted.
Yep.
The Toronto Blue Jays bullpen today. Chris Bassett gives up 3 runs in 4 innings. The Toronto Blue Jays give 6 straight zeros right after that to win the game. They don't win that game if this bullpen's not where it's at. Trevor Richards, 1.2 innings, ERA down to 3.02. He's going to be below 3 at some point. Tim Mays is insane, Avery.
He's good.
Tim Mays, 1 inning, two strikeouts. ERA is at 1.17, this guy. 1.17. Eric Swanson, what more can we say about that guy as well? Another 0. Garcia, 0. Romano, 0. And the bullpen got 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts in 4 innings out of the bullpen. I'll take that 10 times out of 10.
They did not do that.
What do you mean?
Right amount of strikeouts, wrong amount of innings.
6 innings.
Yep.
Sorry. 7 strikeouts, 6 innings. But yeah, it's just this bullpen. There's not much to say.
They gave up 2 hits in those.
Exactly.
Innings.
Exactly.
It's great.
So
we have to talk about how extras went as well. Kirk, I thought, made the first at bat, roll over to second. Infield's playing kind of even with the bags, and he goes to his left. Was that Zach Short playing second base today? I believe so. And then gets Kirk out at third. And I thought for sure there was no way in hell the Blue Jays were going to score a run after that, but found a way. Nathan Lucas, legacy at bat.
I couldn't believe that. And that was one of those swings where it was like he had no idea where he was because his eyes weren't on the ball. Yeah. It just was like a dog shit swing.
That and just the worst camera angle of all time. And I don't listen to it with sound. Just had no idea if it was down or not. I was like, is it a fair ball? I can't even see it. And thank God they scored. DaltonVarsho, perfect person to have on base. Thank God it was him.
He's the fastest motherfucker I've ever seen. He just looks like a lineman just running to attack someone.
Yeah. So Nathan Lucas, Jano saved the season today. Nathan Lucas, miracles. That was a miracle at bat.
This is what I'm saying. Okay, this is where I'm at with this. I don't know what we're doing there It's before the All-Star break. Why not pinch run a pitcher like at second? But I'm not.
You and Mike
I know I'm trying to
Wilner,
be.
eh?
I'm trying to be funny. Obviously, like a certain time, I'm trying to be funny with this. Anyone is better base runner than Alejandro Kirk. Anyone, bro.
Yep.
Like I don't know what that. He's the slowest human being ever. That's not even me being mean. It's like, why is Alejandro Kirk running? You have Yusei Kikuchi on the bench, which would have fucking ruled, by the way. It's him scoring a game-winning run. All these guys that are way quicker. And if you think if there's a faster guy on the base pass there, maybe they get to third, Avery.
Yep. Maybe.
Like,
well, I think if it's anyone else running, the play doesn't go to third base. That's just knowing your runner and being smart.
yeah, I guess. Okay, that makes more sense. But yeah, it's just I don't understand that logic there. I know you got Brandon Belt on the bench. She's slow as shit too, but I don't know. I don't know. It was dumb. And Kirk running there was very stupid. I know you could justify it, whatever. If Nathan Lucas doesn't have that legacy single, or I guess it was a double, down the line to score Varsho from first, we have a whole new tone here. The season's over. That's where we're at with this.
Yep. 100%. Thank God.
And Jordan Romano today was the slider haters are just the dumbest human beings ever on the planet. He shoved today. He is unhittable, and he faced the top part of the line. He's not facing bums. Like he faced Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, and Zach Short as well. Obviously, I mean that's not a really good hitter, but he faced the top half of the order, which is a tough task to go through, especially with how good Riley Green is. He's awesome. Riley Green's awesome. Torkelson's good as well. So Jordan Romano, I mean, the guy's an all-star for a reason. Congratulations to him for that, obviously, as well, being named to the all-star game. Obviously, very deserving. Although people on Twitter will make you think he's not. I don't know those people are fucking idiots, but he's leading the league in saves. And just an awesome way to go into the all-star break. The vibes couldn't be more up, Avery. They couldn't. 5-1 in the last week. And by the way, the Rays might be just the worst team. They suck. They're just getting worked right now.
And if Vladdy wins the home run derby, I might say the B word.
Oh, stop it. We'll see how they do against the Diamondbacks. You know they're getting the big dogs there. Diamondbacks have kind of sucked lately, too, to be honest with you. Got swept by the Mets.
How standing O for Lourdes, you think?
Oh, for sure. I'd be fine with them doing that as well. I mean, he was here for a pretty fucking long time.
When this team was cat shit.
Yeah, terrible. Like those, my God, those really bad lineups.
I'd probably give him a standing O. I would.
For sure. I think he deserves it. Not when he hits a home run, obviously, but when he does come back, he definitely deserves it. Yeah, for sure. Another thing that from the weekend I want to talk about, I've infiltrated Yankees Twitter. I've just been tapping into the spaces and just grinding Yankees Twitter. You can see the clip on my Twitter. It's pretty fucking funny. Just they think that I'm with them. I know Ryan Garcia doesn't, but the other people do. Like the Valerie lady that I was talking to today was like,
he knows you're fucking trolling them.
Yeah, he knows I'm a troll. Yeah, he DM'd me about it. He was just like, you're fucking hilarious, bro. But it's Yankees Twitter's the best. They are collapsing at a rate that I have never seen before. Their lineup is terrible. They blew another lead today, lost a series to the Cubs. Jameson Taillon, the man with the highest qualified ERA in baseball as for a starting pitcher, goes 7 scoreless, 1 hit against them. They're just collapsing at a rate I've never seen before, and it just makes it so much better, Avery, that going into the All-Star break, we have a week or 5 days to look at the standings and be like, we're a game ahead of the Yankees now.
Yep.
It's such all-time. It's such a great look. But I will say this, though. I want to tank for that third wild card. I want to tank for that third wild card so goddamn bad. I do not want to have to go through the Orioles and Rays back to back. Okay. That's where I'm at with that. That's my personal hell. But yeah, great weekend, Avery. Besides, obviously, we of course went to the only game that was catastrophic, nightmare fuel. I want to die, but sacrifice we're willing to make for the greater good of this team. Maybe Cincinnati, when we go there, if we do go there, it'll be a little bit of a change of pace. Maybe they sweep, but that team's also a wagon, so I'm not sure. But we'll see. Great weekend at the end of the day. How would you rank the first half of the season? I know we're gonna do a season show on Thursday or whatever. But how would you rank this, Dave? How would you rank this season?
We're at like a B, because it's fine. You look at the record and it's fine.
I'd probably say a B- based off the fact that they're underperforming. They're not even anywhere near their ceiling, and they're this good. They're 50-41. Like, that's a great record, right? Like,
if you played half decent against individual opponents, this is a whole different story as well as to where they are in the standings.
for sure. It's one of those,
So maybe I'll be fine with a B-. It's not the best, but we're fucking 9.
But see, now they're kind of giving themselves a little bit of wiggle room, because if they go on that evident run that they always go on August, September, this record could be insane. Because you got to think, like, last year they were 46-43, I want to say, at this point, or a little bit like 47-43 or something. It was something like that I saw. This is the best record they've had at this point since 2016.
Was that true? Since 2016 or better than 2016? Because Mike Wilner tweeted it
And he fucked up.
And it was just wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just completely wrong. I'm just using a Wilner stat. Hopefully it's not coming back to bite me in the ass. But yeah, no, it's a great point it's a great problem to have. It's a great problem to have when the most quote unquote stacked part of your team is the part that's sucking, and the part that you were worried about is the part that's carrying your team. Like, once stuff starts evening out and the offense starts figuring it out, this is going to be a problem of a baseball team. Yeah. And they're not even anywhere near where they should be, and they're 50-41. Imagine if they were playing consistent, half decent to really good baseball like other teams were. They would just be the most fucked team ever.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of guys are underperforming, obviously, and all that type of stuff. But yeah, it just this is a good point to be at in the year. I'm happy they're at least 9 games above 500. 10 would have been awesome. 51-60 or 51-40. I want to say. I'm not good. Whatever. Fuck math. But yeah, this is not a bad problem to have. Not a bad problem to have at all. So let's go into. Do you have any listener questions?
Yeah, got a bunch.
Okay,
so I want to know what our attendance record so far this year is.
I've been to so many games, I honestly couldn't tell you. I know it's way above 500. I feel like
we've seen some humiliating losses, though.
The only humiliating losses, though, that I have seen in person, like I went to every game in that Braves series, and they swept the Braves.
Yeah.
Besides the Friday, I went Saturday, Sunday, and they swept.
Yankees, we saw.
Well, the Yankees one's the only losses that I specifically remember, because I know when we went to the Rays series, the Kikuchi one, I went to 2 games and they won that series 2-1. So I think my record's pretty good. We went to the Giants game. They won that game as well.
I went to 2 White Sox games. We went to a Brewers game. They won. I went to a White Sox game. They won. I think we're pretty good.
I think our record's we're probably like a 666 or 700 winning percentage here, man.
Yeah, but we're 1-2 in America. 1-2 while we're in America. So
yeah, we might have mushed the American aspect of the team. Maybe we can't go back. No. I know that's what all of our Twitter mentions and DMs say. So we'll see that. But yeah, I would say it's above 500 for me. I'm probably way above 500. I went to that Astros series too when they won 2 out of 3. I went to 2 games there or 1. So yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm not a mush. I promise that. Maybe in America I am, not here.
If the MLB were to expand to 32 teams, so 2 more, what cities would you want to see get teams?
Montreal. I'd love to see a Montreal team. Vancouver deserves one. Vancouver's an awesome place. I'd probably say Montreal and Nashville.
Nashville, it seems like.
Oh my God. Nashville would fucking rule. Imagine
Nashville, and I guess Vegas as well, but that is happening.
So. That's already happening. So
probably shouldn't even say that. With how bad our hitting is, should we actually trade for Teo?
That would be again, we say this a lot, the most Toronto Blue Jays thing ever, like a Ross Atkins fleecing. I don't think it would obviously take that much to get Teo back, because he's on a 1-year deal, right? And he's a free agent after this year. I just don't. At least you won't have to rely on him playing defense.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, I wouldn't trade for him. What's the worst fan interaction since we started the podcast, or best?
I would probably say the best one is when I'll give a shout out to that guy at the full uniform game that just walked up to us, handed us a beer, and left, didn't say any words. That's probably the best one that we've had with a fan. Yeah, the guy literally just walked up, handed us a beer, and we're like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
And then he just didn't want any praise, nothing. And then he came back up, obviously, after, because Avery tweeted, like, come back up here. That'd probably be the best one. I would probably say the worst one is when people call me a TikToker. I fucking hate that.
You do hate that.
That's like my biggest pet peeve is when it's like, John, oh, he's a TikToker. No, motherfucker. I'm not a TikToker.
That's why you'll see sometimes when Johnny and I are together, I have no idea if people know who I am, because if they just like only follow TikTok, they just know Johnny.
Yeah. No, but you get recognized from TikTok too, from the clips we used to post and stuff like that.
Yeah, sometimes, but it's always funny. I don't think we've had really any bad ones.
No, I haven't had anything bad. No, just some people obviously overdo their stay when they come say hi to us.
Yeah,
you know. But other than that, no, it's not bad. No, for sure.
Zach wants to be explained what WAR means, which is wins above replacement.
I obviously know what that means. So if you want to explain that,
it basically takes a bunch of stats into account that tells you how many wins a player is worth, like adding to their team. So every game, based on how you do, you can accumulate like positive or negative wins above replacement. And some players, like over a season, you can tell by how much wins above replacement you've had, what type of play you are, how you kind of grade out. It's like 1 or 2 wins above replacement, you're an average MLBer, or you could be replaced, whatever, you're closer to that. If you get up to 6, 7, or 8 wins, you're all-star level and like MVP candidate, higher than that. So it's basically just taking stats into account to show how valuable players are.
Only stats I care about: average,
home
runs, RBIs.
Yep.
I don't know ball though, according to the Twitter GM, but whatever.
And then he wants to know what Sierra is as well.
Yeah, that's one that just I'll never get that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, you'll never need to know that one. That's a hard one to know. It's I don't really know how it's calculated and stuff like that. But it's the things. It's like FIP. They try and take away
external factors
pitchers can't control. So
yeah,
doesn't really matter. And I'm just reading this off MLB. Sierra skill interactive ERA considers balls and plays and adjusts for the type of ball and play. So I don't even know what the fuck that means, but it's a pretty decent predictive stat looking in the off season. What else do we go here? What Jays player do you think would be the best at golf? It's just Whit Merrifield.
It's Whit Merrifield, and it's not even close. Whit Merrifield, we tweeted that video, and we talked about this with Swanson. We saw him on the field. He just has the most like I'm an athlete golf swing I've ever seen, where it's a nice golf swing, but he just doesn't look like he ever fucks up on the golf course.
No,
it's breathtaking that this guy just has it all. It pisses me off, to be honest with you. Drives a Tesla, good at golf, good at baseball.
Seems like a good guy too.
Seems like a great guy. It's sickening that this guy has everything going for him. It's sickening. It makes me sick.
This one's pretty good. I like 3 pitchers you think you could get a hit off in Major League Baseball.
Adam Simber.
See, I was thinking that too. Like he just gives one of the slow ones and you're ready for it.
Yeah. Adam Simber. That might be it. Rich Hill, maybe?
Yeah. You would be able to get, like, I wouldn't get a hit off anyway.
Adam Simber, Rich Hill, Clayton Kershaw. No, I don't know who would be the third guy.
If you could get a hit off Rich Hill, you might be able to get a hit off Ryu as well.
Okay, maybe Ryu. Yeah, I'd probably say Ryu.
Ryu better.
Adam Simber's 100%. I can get a hit off Adam Simber. That's just not even up for debate. I can get a hit off Adam Simber. It's Ryu and Rich Hill with their arsenal that would really fuck me. That I don't know if I could.
Were you a better hitter against lefties?
I don't remember. I was pretty shit against all. I went on that run that I tweeted about 2017. I went 3 for 31 with 16 strikeouts and 31 at bats. I don't even know how that's fucking possible.
Well,
I really don't.
Yeah, you do.
Like that's like just unserious at bats.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much what Varsho's won for his last 21, so it could be worse, right?
And that one has to be that bunt hit in extras against the White Sox too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Fucking right. All right. That's all we got.
Yeah.
All-Star break, man. Enjoy some time off.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. The live, like my body's used to the live streams, used to getting the people going. So I'll announce it. Fuck it. Big announcement for Gate 14. This Thursday's podcast will be featured with a very special guest. The Hound on the Mound, Chris Bassett, will be making an appearance. We're interviewing him tomorrow. I have to text Avery with time tomorrow. I believe I said 6 o'clock to Bassett. Big interview tomorrow for the brand, man. That was the text message thread where I was asleep at 9:30, where Avery was like, Johnny's asleep at the wheel. And like, really big Gate 14 news here. Yes, Chris Bassett DM'd us and said, it's time. So couldn't come at a better time. All-Star break. No. I really want to mention to him tomorrow after we interview him. Can we get you on here on the stream for Vladdy's home run derby? That would fucking rule. But I'm not going to get greedy.
He's got a newborn, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited for it. It's going to be awesome. This has been very long overdue. He's been following us for a decent amount of time now, over a month and a bit. I've texted Jano about it. I've texted Swanee about it, and they said you're gonna fucking love this guy.
We need to get some dirt from those guys. That's what you need to be doing.
Okay. I don't know if Jano and him are really that close, because usually Kirk's his catcher, but yeah. I could definitely see if I can get some stuff there. I'll hit up Swanee and Jano for it, but I don't want to hit them up now because they're traveling. Maybe tomorrow I'll hit them up. But yeah, this is massive for the brand. Another massive thing, the Corona Rooftop Collection shirts. We hinted at it. We took pictures of it. We showed you all it. Hopefully it drops this week. We'll have to talk to JR. Hopefully we're aiming for Friday, I think. So stay tuned for that. I know you guys are pumped for it. I've had tons and tons of people respond to that and say how fire it is and they need it. I think it's an awesome shirt. It looks sick. And it should be a good one. I'm excited. This should be a good week. Everyone relax. I couldn't give a fuck less about the All-Star break. I couldn't care about watching the All-Star game. Unserious. They don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Recipe for disaster. So stay tuned for Chris Bassett Thursday. Maybe we'll do like a little bit of a season preview type of thing, or like just season recap, like rank the offense, all that type of stuff, give grades to people and stuff like that. And then we'll do the Chris Bassett interview. But let's have a week, man. I mean, enjoy your week, everyone. There's literally no sports on this week, which sucks. This is like the worst dog days of summer. This sucks. So go to Toronto Island, take the Tiki Taxi, go out for drinks with your friends, because you know there's not a Jays game you have to sweat and worry about. Have a great week, everyone. Avery, any words? And when do you think the vlog for next week then?
Oh, yeah. If I have time tomorrow, I might just be able to do it. But
yeah,
let's go for Tuesday. It'll be out.
Okay, Tuesday vlog. Wow, that's really good turnaround time. Holy fuck.
I could do it tonight. If I wasn't sleeping, it probably would have been done already.
Yeah.
That's all the Avery difference. There's not.
All right, yeah. Tuesday vlog drop. So Chris Bassett interview will be getting done Monday, dropping Thursday, vlog Tuesday, and then we're right back into the thick of it. Jock Night Friday. You love to see it.
I forgot about that. That's awesome.
All right. Love you guys. Gate 14 forever. Thank you for the support, man. Keep running up the numbers. And let's have ourselves a week.